And the first one that we're going to discuss is the fact that Superman is right around the corner. It is literally, I'm going to see it next Tuesday. So I'll have my out of the theater reaction on Tuesday morning. Excited about that. But it looks like we might already have gotten a confirmation that there's a sequel. And it looks like it's the film's star, David Cornsweet, that said it. So that's a cool poster, by the way. All eyes are on Superman to be the movie that turns the DC's brand fortunes around. But is filmmaker James Gunn already working on a sequel? Comments from actor Wendell Pierce, wasn't David Cornsweet, I lied, appeared to suggest so. Warner Brothers Discovery is going all in on Superman with a marketing campaign likely to have cost as much as the movie did to produce when it's all said and done. DC Studios co-CEO and Superman writer-director James Gunn has said that he'd be happy if the movie breaks even. However, it's surely vital for DC's future that the Man of Steel's big screen return be deemed a hit. Ultimately, it begins one of the biggest blockbusters of the summer with how it will play much. Ultimately, it being one of the biggest blockbusters of the summer will play much better than an endless series of articles from the trains about why it flopped, which would be next summer's Supergirl, and that would give it no favors. Time will tell on that front, but is Gunn confident enough in its success to already be planning a sequel? Asked by Collider whether he took anything from Superman's set, Perry White actor Wendell Pierce said, "It's a hot set. You don't want to mess it up because, the sequel is..." Never mind. As the Thunderbolt star inadvertently let the Superdog out of the bag. I hate that sentence. It's hard to say, as he may have just been having fun. However, Gunn has strongly hinted that he's working on a follow-up of some sort. When I'm working on some way, I mean, yes. The filmmaker said when he asked if there was sequel plans, but is it a straight-up Superman sequel? I would say not necessarily. I always leave. I'm going to say direct something until I'm actually done with the screenplay, and then I say, yeah, I want to do this, but it's probably what I will direct. Yes, probably to be totally realistic. Yes, probably. Rumors continue to swirl at World's Finest, which is a Batman-Superman team-up, might be next. Either way, we'd expect the Daily Planet set to play a returning role in the DCU, and certainly whichever projects Clark Kent appears in. So I don't know. I read this, Chris, and I get I don't know the context in which the actor was asked and or how he responded to where he's like, "Yeah, the sequel, never mind." Like, or was it like, "Oops, I shouldn't have said that." And even if he did, I mean, it's kind of like a no shit at this point. We know that this movie, if it does well, is going to get a sequel, right?
Yeah. I mean, in what world are you going to go, no, we're going to make one Superman movie and we're never going to see him again. We don't want to have him back. No. And the context of this too, I watched a little interview and they were just talking about, did you take anything from set? Did you have anything that you wanted to keep with you? And Wendell Pierce, who, I mean, is an incredible actor. Juilliard trained, I mean, The Wire, Treme, all kinds of stuff, was just talking about, oh no, that's just not professional to do because it's a hot set. You don't want to mess up continuity. And of course, with the sequel, never mind. And everyone on set just kind of was like,
right. But did it feel like he was joking around or did he catch himself?
It felt like it felt like a very deliberate, plus since we're for sure getting another movie.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
That's how I took it. Maybe that's not what he meant by it, but that's how it feels. And again, I just feel like if you're going to invest in creating a DC universe, Supes is in the center of it. So it might not be a direct sequel that we're getting at some point in time, but we've already had Murmurs of World's Finest and team-ups and all kinds of stuff. So we're going to have something else with him unless this movie completely shits the bed.
Which it doesn't seem like it's going to be. And it seems like the marketing is obviously where they're going to need to make the money back because rightfully so, they're really it's working. They're getting the word out there. They're spending the money and they're getting the word out there. So yeah, I think this is kind of a no-brainer. I still think that it is a mistake for them to, depending on how they do it, to just jump into a Batman movie. You got to set it up. You have to do a Batman movie first, which I think they might do. Do you think that that's the case? All right. I know that you guys know Viagra. I know you know Cialis, and you probably even tried them. But if you're looking for something beyond just the usual pill, you got to meet Rugiet Ready. There are other companies that rely on similar ingredients to support the blood flow, but Rugiet Ready is the next-gen prescription treatment designed to help amplify the arousal in the brain and increase the blood flow. So if the usual pills aren't doing the trick, Rugiet Ready could be the answer. It's essentially 3-in-1 formula, dissolves right under your tongue to absorb fast, so you'll be ready in just 15 minutes on average, not hours, and it affects up to 36 hours. That means you can stay confident, you can stay present, and in control when the moment's right. If you want proof, over 150,000 men have made the switch, and you can read their customer reviews right on the site. Now, getting started, that's simple. Rugiet connects you with the board-certified doctor 100% online, and if prescribed, your treatment ships to you quickly right to your door. So connect with a provider at rugiet.com/Kristian to see if a Rugiet-ready prescription is ready for you. Connect with the provider at rugiet.com/Kristian to see if a Rugiet-ready prescription is right for you. You can use that code Kristian to get 15% off today. That is Rugiet, RUGIET.com/Kristian. Use that promo code Kristian, get 15% off today. Head to rugiet.com/Kristian and use that code Kristian. Get 15% off today. Use the code to support the show, and so Rugiet knows that we sent you. Individual results may vary with prescription treatment. Compounded drugs are permitted to be prescribed under federal law, but are not FDA approved and do not undergo FDA safety, effectiveness, or manufacturing review. Please visit the Rugiet website for full safety information.
I think so. And we've already had some talk about that perhaps being with Batman and Damian, which I do think is kind of a weird place to start.
Right.
Of, hey, here's Bruce Wayne and also his son that he didn't know about. But we also all, for the most part, if you're looking at what's in with the pop culture zeitgeist, most people know Batman's backstory, right? We know that he had his parents killed in an alley. We know that the pearls went everywhere. We know that he is a man who dresses up as a bat. So it could be an interesting take to jump in there, but you do have to have him in your universe first, I think, before you do a full-on team-up movie.
Yeah, it didn't work last time. They tried doing it that way, and it didn't work that way. But Brett, I have a more important question for you. Question for you. Why do I have a craving for vanilla ice cream right now?
Oh, I don't know. Is it my face? Is it my light skin?
No, just for some reason I say, what would be good right now is a scoop of vanilla ice cream. I don't ever really eat it, and I figure you'd be able to help me out. Tell me why.
I've been making myself like mocha ice creams with or coffee, so that might be why you can smell it on my virtual
vibe. I got the vibe. Yeah. I don't know either way. So jumping back to that, there's gonna be a lot of random thoughts on this today, and I don't care. I figure it's good. Yes, I did the same thing when I was watching Ironheart, which we'll discuss. I was craving for some kind of food. I've had a lot of cravings for food lately. But again,
Kristian, you're not gonna believe this, but I did.
Maybe.
Oh, that could be it.
Possible.
You're not gonna believe this, but I actually did watch the clip of the reveal of this, and I agree with Kris. It didn't seem like somebody that is going to lose their job.
Wait, you can't reveal that and not get your own shot. Look at that.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. No, it didn't seem like somebody that was like really screwed up and was going to lose, their job over this reveal. I mean, it was a very it seemed a little planned-ish to me, or just a non-reveal. So
a nothing burger.
Yeah, it's a nothing burger.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, again, I think that this is more so of like, hey, the hype is right there. He's already, if you're James Gunn and you're confident in this movie and you're saying, hey, look, guys, we're going to be moving this thing forward. It looks like it's tracking. I'm feeling pretty confident because I think that the difference is because this marketing, their campaign, it's like 200 million or whatever it might be. And also that is where a lot of times people say, well, why in the world did they allow the filmmakers to spend this much money and on the film itself? And the marketing campaign is a direct kind of result of the studio going, we need to get the word out on this film. This is very important. This is crucial. We're going all in. We're going to fire the financial tanks at it, if you will. And this is what they are doing. So I think there will be a little leeway in the numbers when it's coming back, because the first numbers he's saying makes even. I think the first number they have to do is make up that production budget. That's the first. Because once that's made up, they go, okay, we did our job. Now we have to make the marketing budget back. And then they make that back and they go, okay, now everything is, let's go. Let's take it to the bank. So, and I think, and normally that's a lot of times how, well, that's what always happens. Yeah, but it's different here because, again, is the movie's good? Like, let's say it's good like Thunderbolts. And it has those kind of results. I think that starts to weigh, Kris, more so on the public's appetite for these types of movies. If it's as good, let's say it's as good and it's a quality movie and it doesn't do well, that's got to be the audience because we're just tired. We don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, I think we do have a really big issue with getting people in theaters because we are seeing certain films too have that second life on streaming, even when we have really wonderful quality things. Because now I feel people like an experience. They want to go to the movie theater for a big event, it feels like
Yep.
sometimes. And that's per people mostly outside of our kind of movie bubble, right? Of, oh, going to the movies is so second nature to me, of just, yeah, I'm going to go do that. I'm going to go catch any movie, even if I'm not that interested in it, because I love going to the movies and I love that experience with others. So we have to kind of combat that. We all got complacent from the pandemic. We all have these streaming services, and we go, "Oh, this movie is probably going to be on streaming in 2 to 4 weeks. No biggie if I miss it." I will say though, the Superman marketing has been really, really clever, particularly what they're doing on socials. They're being so
Yeah.
smart about stuff of just using Instagram and TikTok trends and really just kind of jumping in so that younger audiences will get reminded, and not through traditional media, but going and logging onto their favorite social app and going, "Oh my gosh, look at David Cornsweet doing the boyfriend trend of you better listen to him and be nice to him." People love that stuff.
100%. I mean, I think Brett, so in your household, because you don't have like the movie fans, are they aware? Not that they're not movie fans, but they're like not in the space. Are they aware of Superman, the movie coming up?
I don't believe so. Yeah, my
No?
wife probably, but my kids are actually not movie fans. Like they're not.
Right.
They don't take in long form content.
Are they home?
hardly.
Are they home?
Yeah, yeah.
Scream out to one of them, see what movies that are coming out this summer that they're aware of. I'm very curious. I'm very, because we have this discussion on the show all the time about people, because yesterday the conversation with Roxy and myself was that you were talking about Adria Arjona potentially becoming Wonder Woman, and she said, well, the difference is that if you look at David Cornsweet and Rachel Brosnahan, like she's on a different kind of star level than them. I said, I don't think so. I said, I think she's on this, maybe in our space where people are more aware of her, but she's not a common name. Like she doesn't have those types of things. We're going back and forth. I said, I would even argue that Rachel Brosnahan was more known at the time when she was cast because of the various Emmys that she had won for Maisel, as where Adria Arjona was not. So we kind of had a friendly discussion about that yesterday. But we're like, because I just don't think the regular audience is aware of a lot of these things. But Superman, they seem to be aware of. So I was just curious, Brett, when we go to the break, break,
I'll ask him.
we'll go, because we're going to do that in a second. So, all right. What do you guys make of the fact this particular comment? Is it a nothing burger? Do we know that already? Or is it a matter of like, no, we're going all in, even if this thing doesn't do well? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know.